Okay, YouTube, this is Kriesel from Casual Gaming, and I am on my friend's Sim server, which I'll have listed below, but you can also do this on my server as well. We have MachinaCraft installed, and so let's say you want to set up a really big wheat farm, and you really don't want to manage, say, you can imagine all the rows of wheat that you can easily have here. So I'm going to build the auto replanter harvester device, known as Machina Planter. No need to dig your trenches or anything until after it's finished, and I'll show you why. So let's say we want it to start here. So the first thing we have to do is we need to place a gold block. This is the base of the unit. There we go. And we have to picture in our minds, you know, which way do we want the rows to run? Do we want them to run this way or like that? And I want mine to run out that direction, you know, like here. So that means the furnace will go here. The furnace is what powers this. So we need a furnace right there. Doesn't matter which way the furnace faces. And then the other direction is how we're going to control the masking of the rows, as in what rows get replanted and what rows do not. Now it will till every single row regardless. Okay, now on top of this gold block we place a brick block, and if you don't know, you can make a brick block by baking clay that you can find underwater, like there's some clay over there, and take 4 pieces and craft them together, and it creates a brick block. So I'm going to place that on top of the gold block, and looks like I should have got rid of this tree, but we'll just cut out the pieces that I don't need hanging around. That'll help it deteriorate. If you need a tree to deteriorate, get rid of all the logs. Okay, now on top of this we are going to place a fence post, or not. A fence post, and the first thing we're going to do is build what's called the row mask. The if a row, and this actually this will be your first row. If a row has a block of wood, as in oak plank, that row will be replanted. And if it has a fence, it will not be replanted, only tilled. So we want this very first row to be planted, so we're going to place down a oak plank there. I'm going to go ahead and make some more while I'm at it. So there we go. That'll plant that row. And as you should know, water seeps in at least a minimum of 2 in left and right direction. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 2, and then we'll drop a fence post. So because I'm going to end up plowing that out, digging it out and let water flow in there. Okay, and that means then, so water will go out 2, and then 2, and then that's going to be water, and then so 4. Looks like I'm going to make it pretty darn big, huh? Oh yeah, this is going to be a nice huge farm. Can't get no more perfect than that. And and we'll just cut all this out, and that'll be our final, basically our final water to handle. Okay, now we have to create the planting arm. So what you do there is, unless you have game mode, you're gonna have to use a dirtivator and or whatever. And I'm just gonna go ahead and look like a fool. Okay. So now, and I could have flied, yes, but I just want to show you guys me using a dirtivator. Alright, so now this will be the planting arm, and so we need to, it needs to come out, and then one of these needs to be extra long like that. Actually, that one needs to be a block of wood, because that's going to hold the iron fence. Actually gets attached to that right here, and this is that's your actual tilling head. Okay, and now we just bring this till arm out for us however long we actually want the rows. I'm just gonna, there we go, right, that should be right to the edge. Yep, to the edge. Okay, so now MachinaCraft Planter currently only operates on wooden hose. If you put other hose in there, they will work, but it burns them up immediately. So put some wooden hose in there. Unfortunately, you can't put the fuel in there. You're gonna have to put that in one at a time into the furnace, unless you have auto sort or a hopper system or something set up to refill your furnaces. And you also want to put your seeds in there that'll be planted. Now, granted, I'm making a farm here that's larger than the amount of seeds that are available, but after a few cycles, there will be plenty of seeds to manage the entire farm. And to activate the whole entire mess, this activates the machine. You put the switch right there above the furnace, and now we're going to put some fuel in the furnace. And when I flick that switch, the hose will show up here, and it won't actually burn, but its durability will gradually go down. So here we go, and it's reoriented the furnace for me. It's tilling and planting. Okay, there is clearly a limit, and we've just discovered it. So that wasn't discussed in the video. I mean, on their site. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So rows can only go 10 deep. Not a problem at all, is it? Not for Minecraft. So what I was going to do next is I was going to dig out these things, but since I have my world edit, I'll just cheat and use world edit. I'm just going to dig them out and let the water flow and use a bucket of water to extend them as necessary. So now we'll know that that one, because if I had the seeds to go there, that would be ignored. 2, 3, 4. That'll be the next one. Okay. And there was a limit about how far it went down this way too, obviously. Did not till everything. Oh wow, it burned that hoe up quick. So apparently a really big farm burns up those hoes fast. So we'll quickly make some new hoes. Should be enough hose. Put them in the right spot. Okay. Let's let that rip. That's going to go through and it's going to check each single one of them. And if they're ready to harvest, they'll harvest. Now the thing is if you had bone meal, I guess I can give myself some. It'll take bone meal and it'll accelerate the growth. And since Minecraft version 1.5.1, it takes 4 bone meal to actually completely accelerate any one item, because they all have 4 stages and it takes 1 bone meal per stage. So bone meal doesn't instantly, so you burn through a lot of bone meal, you're going to have to kill a whole lot of skeletons to get plenty of bone meal. There, see, there's a wood axe, hoe, and it's gradually going down. And as you can see, it's clearly night, and the machine itself is lit. It's at least lit from the base of the gold block. Oh look, there's some free bone meal out there. See how it's not planting that one? That's the one with the fence post. One that I would turn into water. I either dig it out or set it out. Like in my case, I'm going to set it out. This makes creating a really large farm really easy. Okay, and there is clearly a limit to how far you can go per machine. So, okay, so that's 2, 1, okay, 3, 4, that's 7, 8, 4 is 12, and 4 more is 16. So 16 by 10 is your limit per machine. And of course you can build fences around the bottom here without hurting the machine. Keep the critters out. And you don't have to build it near an ocean like I did. You can do this inland, of course, because as you all aware, you can bring the water in with a bucket. Look at all that lovely wheat. Let's run it again. And it doesn't keep going. You have to flick that switch every time you want it to run. And you can do pumpkins. It will harvest the pumpkins, but it won't turn pumpkins into pumpkin seeds. You have to do that yourself with a crafting table. And if your server admin is hooked up to appropriate devices, you can create a machine that sucks the pumpkin out of the chest and processes it, turns it back into seeds, and then runs it back into the chest. Similarly, you can do whatever you want with the proper set of plugins. I suggest MachinaCraft, CraftBook, and Auto Sort Chest System. And that concludes our video on the MachinaCraft Auto Planter, how to build it up, set it up, and you watched with me as we discovered its limitations. So this is Kreezel. Until next time, take care.